Something like that, yeah.
At some point he was going to Hungary.
Uh-huh.
Maybe on the way back.
That could be. Speak of the Deva.
First two letters are correct.
Jai Shri Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Om Vishnu Shri Bhakti Rakhak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Parikar Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Sundar Ju ki Jai. And where are you, are you at Radha Shama Sundar?
We're with Giriraj.
Giriraj.
Oh,
all right. Hare Krishna. Jai.
And with the temple pictures of Sri Guru Gauranga Govinda Sundar.
So you're in Milano. Oh, I thought you went. I thought you went to London.
No, I was coming up from Rome to here.
Oh, okay. All right. Hare Krishna. So you're at.
Friday we'll be going to Hungary for the opening of the new ashram of Hungary, which is purchased just outside, very close to the center of Budapest, actually.
Mm-hmm.
On Jagannath Ratha-yatra.
Oh, all right. Hare Krishna. So you're at Vila Govinda.
Yes, ma'am.
Hare Krishna. All right, so I think.
Energetic, exemplary devotees, ma'am.
Hare Krishna. All right, then we can begin.
Yes, Maharaj, and actually I'm also in the Bhakti ashram because we see also so many devotees there. We're seated with you all as well as joined by the devotees around the world. So Maharaj, perhaps first we give obeisances to each other and maybe to Guru and to Gauranga as we begin.
Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubheva patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Om jnana-dhyana-dasya jnananjana samakaya chaksuramilitam jena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurati Namo.
So Maharaj, to your holy feet, all the Vaishnavas present here. And Maharaj, we're continuing on the third day of the Puri Parikrama, and I was on pilgrimage from Rome to Vila Govinda yesterday, so I missed the live broadcast, but I heard everything fully of yesterday's broadcast, and of course, nourished as all of us, nourished so much. So continuing the theme, continuing our preparation to go to the Jagannath Ratha-yatra. Then we are in Puri, we are at our base camp, which means the ashram established by Shri Gurudev in Kolkatta in Puri. And this ashram, maybe Gurudev will say, this is Guru Maharaj's ashram, because Guru Maharaj, he gave specific permission, sanction, blessing, we can say, for establishing a temple in Puri, in Vrindavan, in Govinda, and the temple that's in Nabadwip and also Kolkatta. Those three places, in addition to Nabadwip, Guru Maharaj specifically said to make Govinda, in Kolkatta, as a transit station for the devotees, and in Jagannath Puri. So, Sridhar Maharaj asked me just to say a few words about the ashram in Puri, and we know that for 2 years, Gurudev was trying to get some land in Puri because the devotees and the aspiring devotees, including ourselves, were going to Puri, and actually we really were staying quite austere, even for India. quite austere accommodation in very crowded down showers, etc. Two toilets for 80 people kind of arrangement. In Jagannath Puri, there was no place of our own, and so with the help of the devotees, the devotees arranged some rented down shower accommodation for everybody, especially the Western, very austere. And Gurudev was keen to quickly try to get somewhere in Puri, so that, as he always said, we want to do first service to the devotees, then service to the Lord. We want the devotees to be able to visit Puri and visit the places of Mahaprabhu's pastimes, where possible, to come and see the Ratha-yatra, Jagannath. So for almost 2 years, at least I know for a year and a half for sure, that Srila Gurudev was searching for Ranjan through the devotees. He was trying to get land, and I know these two devotees, Gurudev sent him to say, go there and find some place. And they couldn't. One thing came up, but then it was not possible, another thing came up, not possible. And then Gurudev told Guru Maharaj, if you give permission, I will go to Puri. I will get something. I must get something for your service. This humble but firm way giving assertion, complete assertion, you must find something, because it's Guru Maharaj said. Guru Maharaj gave permission. And finally, Gurudev was in Puri for some time, but then he was very soon going to be returning to Nabadwip, and he told that within 2 weeks, that I only had 2 weeks to find someone. Everywhere so far had not been possible. Whatever looked like it was going to be possible for some reason or another, due to duplication or due to some confusion, whatever it may be. Then it didn't come true. I had 2 weeks. I'm thinking, what to do? I'm trying myself to do something. He said, I'm here in Puri, where Jagannath is the master. And so, Gurudev told, I pray to Jagannath. I'm here for the service of my Guru Maharaj. You know who is Guru Maharaj. And that I'm here in service of my Guru Maharaj. And you give something for his service, for the service of the devotees, wherever you give, then we accept that. And Gurudev has been looking in various places, not so close to the central leaders of Mahaprabhu and the devotees, who wanted to be a little separate. And Gurudev said, we are with the Westerners who don't know the etiquette so well. We don't want to make any offense anywhere. So again, Gurudev is very considerate about the safety too, the pilgrim, safety, so as not to be in danger of committing offenses. And anyhow, Gurudev prayed, and then very soon, whether it was the next day or not, I'm not sure, but Srila Gurudev, when he would tell the story and told happily on several days, Gurudev said, and then after that, then I got news that one piece of land is for sale, which is in the area of where Mahaprabhu had his big gold pastimes. And this area that Mahaprabhu passed through. And he said it is closer to Jagannath and closer to the special places than he was looking for. But he said this place came up and I made that Jagannath was shown this. He went to see the property with the owner of the property, etc. And Gurudev said, within a few minutes, everything was sealed. Everything was settled. The owner found everything was very clean, clear, there was no litigation, all the papers were legal, etc. Within a few then soon afterwards, before he left from Puri, so within 2 weeks, then he was able to get the legal documents, the transfer of the documents, etc. So it was in the name of the mat. So this was the beginning, if you like, how the property came. And then step by step, Gurudev was able to secure land behind on the parallel road, which was called Hotel Prachi Road, but that was the only hotel except for the Birla guest house, which was on that road going towards the sea and along the seashore. And Gurudev was able to purchase some land there for a guest house, because he understood that the particular property that became available was quite small. But still, from the beginning, Gurudev had the vision of a temple and an ashram building beside it. So I've also driven Gurudev there just soon after the signing, etc. And I drove Gurudev there, and just to take the small car in through the gate, it was the Padmini. Those of you who know what a Padmini is, it's quite a small car. Just to drive that car in through the gate and park it, it sort of more or less took, the parking space with, little space each side, and there was a small garden there, but it was quite a small area with an L-shaped existing building there. And Gurudev, with his special vision, he said, and here we will make a temple. And I am thinking, oh, really? And then here we'll make a temple. And really, such a sweet and beautiful temple in due course came up there. And that temple now is the temple of Shri Shri Nitai Chaitanya Dev. And behind is the Sevak Bhavan, which is on that Hotel Prachi Road, which now has grown to 4 stories, a ground story plus 3 more stories. A little video there. This video is taken from let me just make it bigger on my screen. Oh, this is, yes, from the guest house. So the guest house means the ashram building right beside the temple, as you saw the domes there. And then, so this was during Srila Guru Maharaj, when Guru Maharaj was with us, always with us, but during his manifest pastimes. So this took place during Guru Maharaj's manifest pastimes. And then Srila Gurudev asked Guru Maharaj about the deities, and they discussed, and Nitai Chaitanya Dev, Nitai Chaitanya. Then I cannot say exactly if it is Gurudev or Guru Maharaj in their discussion. Then they understood that, or they got the inspiration that in Puri there is no temple, that Gurudev said there was no temple I knew of Nitai and Gauranga together. But yet they have so much pastime together in Puri. There must be some place, somewhere where they will be worshipped, Nitai and Gauranga. And so this way, Gurudev consulted with Guru Maharaj, and the deities are here, Shri Shri Nitai Chaitanya Dev. Their name actually came a little later, after they were going to be on their way to Puri, if you like. But these deities were originally due for Govinda Kund Leela, because this was another long-standing desire, or a long-standing desire of Guru Maharaj, and hence Gurudev to fulfill it, to clean Govinda Kund, to make it into a nice place, in other words, to put steps around, to make it into a place where pilgrims can come to. And it was Guru Maharaj's long-standing desire to have a temple there. And Gurudev, his first idea was for a boat temple, because not so easy to make a temple in the middle of water, etc. And then these deities originally were there in Nabadwip, already in Chaitanya Saraswat Math, with the idea that Gurudev, he was going to prepare a boat and then make it into a boat temple, and the Lord Nitai and Chaitanya will have their pastimes in Govinda Kund. However, Gurudev asked to Guru Maharaj, so Nitai and Chaitanya are here already. Nitai and Gauranga are here already. So with your permission, I may take these to Puri, and they may come to Puri, and there in Puri we'll install in the temple. And Guru Maharaj gave his permission. And this is something Gurudev wanted to do things specifically in the time of Guru Maharaj and have Guru Maharaj's blessings. And so Guru Maharaj gave that blessing, and Guru Maharaj, he himself had darshan of these deities, saw the deities, touched the deities also. And this we've heard from Gurudev. And then, so presently when the temple was to be opened, which I can't exactly remember the year, but it was just a little after Guru Maharaj's disappearance that the temple was opened. And we are, this next story, a lot of devotees know. I think it's when the deities are to come from Nabadwip to Jagannath Puri, and they came to Kolkatta, the Dum Dum Park, our temple in Kolkatta. They came there all very well, and then in Kolkatta the deities are there and they're ready to come to Puri, and Gurudev is going to come to Puri for the installation of the deities when the temple's been constructed, everything's ready for them, and he's going to come to Puri for that installation. And we're in Dum Dum Park, and then Gurudev, he's actually quite happily saying, and the deities will come with us in the car. And then the devotees, then they started to say to Gurudev, but Gurudev, it'll be very troublesome to take them in the car. They can come with us on the train, because many devotees were going to go to Puri also, and they were going to go on the train, which is very easy, you can say, because basically you get on the train, go to sleep, you wake up, you're in Puri. And Gurudev, he actually, when he did go whenever he went on the train, he liked to go in the daytime so he could see where Mahaprabhu and the many devotees would go on their journey from Nabadwip to Puri. And Bhakti Lalita, she's there with you. She knows these pastimes. And these pastimes, basically, the devotees, they all kind of kept on saying, no, Gurudev, no, don't take in the car, take in the train. And Gurudev little reluctantly relented and said, all right, you all say, then you take in the train. And so a couple of very responsible devotees took care to look after the deities, and they were all nicely wrapped up and taken on the night train to Puri. And in the morning, then myself and Srila Gurudev and 3 devotees in the back seat of the car, which was the ambassador, then we set out from Calcutta to Puri early in the morning, around maybe 6:30 a.m. early morning, to get through Calcutta traffic, to get on the highway to go to Puri, and to make a very long, and actually to make a 25 or 26 hour long story short, we arrived next day, the following day, around maybe 8 a.m. or something like this. We arrived in Jagannath Puri, continuously on the road, repairing, one repair, another repair, not 1 second of moment's sleep. It was a full journey with so many troubles which you couldn't guess could happen in one journey. And many completely illogical things took place, with the car. This is all about the car not behaving itself properly. And the ambassador car is very simple. Every mechanic can fix it. Also, yours truly has a little idea about mechanics, and it just defied all logic. but we managed to get to Puri eventually. And Gurudev, on the way, when one trouble happened, another trouble happened, another trouble happened. And then he said, this is because Nitai and Gauranga, they are unhappy that they went on the night train and didn't come in the car and see the route that they have taken to come to Puri, because the route goes right to Remuna and then Remuna down to Puri through Bhuvaneshwar and Sakshi Gopal and these places like that. And Mahaprabhu and their devotees, when they go to Puri, they go that way to Remuna, then Remuna down to Bhuvaneshwar, Bhuvaneshwar through to Puri. And anyway, Gurudev was very clear about that. And we arrived next morning, and then all arrangements made for the installation. But this very clearly, Gurudev, and repeatedly telling afterwards that the deities are not happy that they went and couldn't see the journey. So this is some like, I don't know what it's like to say, at least some personal reflection. And I can also say for myself about that journey, one thing which is like very kind of reminds me sometimes that when we have to do some service, then we have to do it. And to drive Gurudev is already like very, very responsible service. I'd always think I've got the most precious cargo in, as it were, in the vehicle. If you're carrying gold or diamonds or anything else, it's not as valuable as driving safely Gurudev somewhere. And so to drive and be attentive for more than 24 hours is very challenging, and you really have to consider about your mind, your senses, what you want, what your body is telling you, and you have to be alert when everybody else, including Gurudev, is asleep in the car and we are driving. And sometimes I think of that when there's an important service that has to be done, often in Nabadwip before festivals, we have to do many things and then just try to be conscious, yes. But if this was driving I was doing, I'd have to do it. There's no question of dozing off or doing anything else. So this was a little bit of background to the temple there. And Gurudev in Puri was very happy, by the way. He was happy, and he was with the devotees a lot. Devotees were able to sit with him, just be with him, and not necessarily always ask questions. And Gurudev was happy just to share, and whatever topics come up, then he's discussing those topics, and he would do that on veranda, which in the new building, he had the most accessible room, the room on the left, downstairs. So when you came into the Sevak Bhavan, then Gurudev would be there, and he liked to sit outside. And so he saw the devotees come and go, and he had always some seats there, and the VIP guests and people, there would be a bench and some seats for them to sit on. And the mats would always be there. And Gurudev was happy in Puri. And actually this last visit to Puri, just before the COVID, we came up to Puri from South India. We went on a little bit of a pilgrimage for the encouragement and for some excuse to be with the devotees and be on a bit of a pilgrimage. We went to Kovur, the place of the Ramananda Sambad, and came up to Kurmakshetra, to Puri. And then when we are staying in the building, actually, they gave us accommodation in that ashram building beside the temple, right adjacent to the temple. And actually, it's Paramananda who noticed above the door of the room that we are in, he noticed above the door, a plaque that was painted over, and maybe he rubbed the paint a little bit, and he saw the name of Srila Gurudev. And we were actually in Srila Gurudev's room in that adjoining building. But Gurudev did stay there, but he preferred to be with the devotees and available. So we were taken by surprise. I was taken by surprise because if we think about it, yes, we know it was Gurudev's room, but certainly myself, I identify Gurudev in Puri very much with that downstairs room in the Sevak Bhavan, where he would give darshan and be very much present with us. Hare Krishna. So anyway, we're in our temple, Maharaj, in Jagannath Puri, which is where we start every day our parikrama, where we end our parikrama. And we're very close to the sea beach. Gurudev would sometimes come to the sea beach also. And I remember with Aravinda Lochan Prabhu, Gurudev, very much he wanted to go in the water a little bit. And he's saying, this water, Haridas Thakur has been bathed here in this water. And Gurudev very pleased to be there. And actually he told us of a story when he was young. And he said that here at the sea beach, they call it sea beach in Jagannath Puri, said, when I was young, I was swimming here in the water and I was carried out and I was taken down in a whirlpool in circuit. And the water there, it is actually dangerous, dear devotees, if you go, it is dangerous. He said, I was taken down in a whirlpool. And he said, but miraculously, I was lifted up and brought to the shore. And Gurudev considers that one of Guru Maharaj's miracles to him, that he gave him life in that way. And this is another story, but many things in Puri. With Gurudev, we were very pleased that he accepted to have us nearby him and to take him here and there, to drive him. And from our temple, then we'll go on pilgrimage. And we are very close to Chatak Parvat. Yesterday you heard something of the Chatak Parvat, the Govardhan hill of the Gupta Govardhan, as it were, of Jagannath Puri. And we're very close to Haridas Thakur's Samadhi and that area where Haridas Thakur was bathed, brought from the Siddha Bokul, his bhajan place, and brought to the sea, and then his Samadhi made, just very close. Not even one round of japa from our temple. And similarly, Chatak Parvat, not even one round of japa to chant. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Purushottamma Haridas, less than one round of japa from our temple. So wonderful area. And Gurudev said, here Mahaprabhu came again and again. Said, here, this area, it is the area you will have come through so many times, meeting Gadadhar Pandit, coming from the Jagannath temple, bathing in the sea, this area. And coming from the Jagannath temple to come to the seashore, then the most direct way is actually coming down Panda Rasta. Panda Rasta, the road of the Pandas. And we have been there, even though Sanatan Goswami, he didn't go along Panda Rasta. He didn't take that road when he was coming to meet Mahaprabhu in the summer. And there's a section in Chaitanya Charitamrita describing where it was midsummer and Mahaprabhu had called for Sanatan Goswami, and he came along the beach and blistered his feet with the very hot sand, which in the summer, of course, the sand is very hot. But instead of coming where the pandas, the pujaris, the worshippers of the priests of Lord Jagannath, where they principally live, because Sanatan Goswami, in all humility, he felt himself that, oh, if the pandas touch me, then they'll be contaminated, and then there'll be offense from my side that, oh, I contaminated the pandas in their service. So in this way, we're also very cautious to go on that road, but Gurudev one day asked to be driven there, again in a little car, the Padmini. We drove to Gopinath Kuntia's house, and he was the panda for Guru Maharaj, I understand, and for Gurudev. Like in Puri, you have a panda, a priest who is our sort of intermediary to Lord Jagannath, and who gives assistance where we can render service to Jagannath and he can help in some way to the pilgrims. And we went there and parked the car outside on that narrow street within a place where actually we could park a small car, which the Padmini is. And then Gurudev, he went in there and called me up, also, you come up with me. We went in together. And that is a very special place at Pandarasta. Those houses, many of those houses are from the time of Mahaprabhu and before. And this is also just another sweet incident which kind of just illustrates how so many places in Puri are the very places where Mahaprabhu was. Because the Panda, he invited us to the living quarters, which is upstairs. Probably upstairs you get more natural cooling from the wind, etc. So you go up the stairs and then we're upstairs there. And then he seats us, Gurudev sitting in a chair and I'm sitting on the floor. And then he goes off to get some refreshment. As in India, always the host is very kind to bring some refreshment, and brought some refreshment for Srila Gurudev. And I'm sitting there on the floor, and then Gurudev, we're sitting, and he very simply said, and you know that pillar you are leaning against, that pillar is the same pillar Mahaprabhu leant against. And it's written in somewhere in the scripture, some description of Mahaprabhu and leaning against the pillar. And he said, that's that very same pillar. And then me being me and a bit shocked, I said, really? Which wasn't a very good thing to say. I mean, I didn't really mean really in that sense, but like a kind of shock that, oh, this pillar. And then Guru said, yes, that pillar. And so I did come forwards from the pillar and not lean on it anymore, and kind of almost woke up to the fact that we're in, remarkably special places where the Supreme Lord himself has like directly been. Swayam Bhagavan. Usually we're thinking Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, but Swayam Bhagavan is also Mahaprabhu, Radha Krishna combined. And the Supreme Lord, he's been right there. And again in Puri, so many places like the Singhadwara, the whole Jagannath compound, the area around the temple, the marketplace. Mahaprabhu, the Lord himself, has been in these very places, not reconstructed or not like a memorial, which also reconstructed or a memorial is also wonderful to know that the Lord is there, but these very same places. So these are some pilgrimage kind of inspirations and wake-ups for us to see that we really do go to the holy places. Why? To be with the devotees, yes, but to be like energized a little bit, so we can understand that what we're doing, it is real. What we're doing, it is inconceivable, because of course still if we see a pillar, for instance, we still see a pillar rather than the Leela. And Gurudev also describing that the Lord's Leela, Mahaprabhu's pastime, is eternal, and it is eternal in Puri also. So all these things, such devotees as Srila Goswami Maharaj can help us understand the reality of that eternality and how we can understand it best. But Gurudev, what is he doing? Giving us all access to these pastimes of the Lord, giving access by giving us access to Guru Maharaj, and giving access by making the Lord's high Leela accessible to us and giving us our process, our practical process of devotional service, what to do every day, so that we can really be connected in the seva mood with Guru Maharaj, with the whole super exalted parampara, if we take a look and see who are our guardians. And Gurudev, with so much affection, so much personal care for the devotees, wanting good for everyone, then giving support, giving enthusiasm for them to come to Puri, for the devotees to come, visit the holy places, with the devotees, with Sankirtan. And the very way to worship Mahaprabhu is with Sankirtan. And in Puri, what is Mahaprabhu's biggest pastime? It is Sankirtan, Sankirtan with the devotees. And this Ratha-yatra is coming up, which is like maha-sankirtan, you can say. So that's Pandarasta.
Yes, and
area.
one thing you're making me recall is that as we hear about all these divine places and pastimes, and it is something that is shared by all the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, those in Mahaprabhu's line, descending in the Rupa Nuga line, and something they all share and revere. But sometimes the question arises, then, what distinguishes Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, or the appreciation that's coming in the line of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, from any other Mat or any other generic representation of Sri Gaudiya Mat, Gaudiya Siddhanta, etc. And that we find in the susiddhanta of Srila Guru Maharaj, this sort of original wealth. As he himself has mentioned, says, Achinoti Yashastartam, the Acharya Yenas Kirti, who is glorified with the term Acharya, but one who can extract the inner meaning of the scripture. As there may be guru function in many, but Acharya should be able to extract the inner meaning of the scripture. Right? And we know that is a specialty of Srila Guru Maharaj particularly, but like why it's Rupa Nuga line. We heard the other day of Siddha Bokul, the place of Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami. And as Maharaj is alluding, that Mahaprabhu is coming every day on his way to bathe. We're told he stops there to see them. And then he goes to bathe. Sometimes when he comes, maybe Rupa Goswami is not there. He already went to bathe. So we're told one particular time, Mahaprabhu comes. Rupa Goswami, remember, at Siddha Bokul, he's writing Padyavali, so many slokas. Some things will appear in his writing. Some of them are, Padyavali means like this prayer collection. So he wrote some particular sloka, and they write on the bamboo. Like if you see these ancient books, and it's here as well, it's like a bamboo leaf. It's around this wide, and they scribe, what do we call that thing? Huh? The metal thing that you scribe with. No, you have a metal, I forget the name right now. But anyway, that's how you scribe. Like we say scribble. Scribe means to write, actually. Stylus, right? Always some representation of that, either in the pencil, the pen, the chalk, whatever. It's a stylus, stilo, right? And they would make that impression on the bamboo leaf, and then there's a way of rubbing ink or some pigment over that, and then the letters appear. It's really extraordinary. And when Mahaprabhu would see the writing of Rupa Goswami, said to him, it looked like rows of pearls. That's what he's saying. And we always come back to this. Subjective interpretation. like Maharaj is saying, we may see the pillar and not the other part. Mahaprabhu seeing Jagannath, he's seeing Shama Sundar Krishna. We say, Oma Jnana Timarandasya Jnananjana Chaksurun Militam. What is it? It's that from Guru, you get a new way of seeing. Upanayana, new eyes. Right? Does that mean literally new? It must mean a new way of seeing, because apparently you have the same physical eyes that you had before. So what does new eyes mean but a new way of seeing, interpreting, understanding, and on the basis of that you move. Right? You move in this world, and hopefully in the plane of service. So when Mahaprabhu sees Rupa Goswami's right, he said, to him it looks like just strings of pearls, just one pearl-like row after. That's how he's seeing the beauty of the handwriting of Sri Rupa. That's the stylistic aspect of it. But so one day he's visiting, and we told Rupa Goswami before, he wrote some shloka on the bamboo leaf, and then it's a thatched hut they're staying, and just, it's all straws, and he just stuck it in there, and then went to bathe. Right? And then Mahaprabhu was coming to visit Haridas Thakur on his daily visit before going. And he sees the bamboo is sticking out of there. What is it? Pulls it down. He's with Swarup Damodar and sees us. Priya Soyam Krishna Saeva, etc. What? Remember, he's the Chana avatar. He's hidden. We're telling Swayam Bhagavan, but nobody knows. Shh, don't tell anyone. Right? He is disguised as a devotee, really. And these higher things, only inner circle. To himself, Swarup Damodar, and like we say, Antaranga Bhakta Sangha Kori Rasa Asudan. Swarup Damodar, very Ramananda, very elite group. And Raghunath Das Goswami, Swarup Damodar's assistant. So why is he a little taken aback? Because when he goes before Jagannath on the Ratha-yatra, they're singing all kinds of slokas and songs. Like when we were there with Gurudev, and that very place Madhusudan Maharaj is describing, we're sitting outside on the porch there, little table, a radio. You've heard of radios? Right. And on the radio is a broadcast. And Gurudev listening like that. And every now and then a sloka comes on and you start singing that sloka, And we're just happily there, listening to the broadcast. And off in the distance is the actual Ratha-yatra. We can still hear, some omic hum emanating from that zone. But we're listening on the radio, And so when the devotees are there and we hear Nitai Chaitanya, there's Nityananda, Mahaprabhu, and they have different groups. Mahaprabhu assigned these 4 groups of chanters. Nityananda is the principal dancer in one, Advaita in another, Vrikeshwara another, Advaita, Chutananda's one, Raghunanda, and then he extends the 3 others, right? Yes, 7. And Raghunanda and Thakur, every group has a lead singer and a lead dancer. And each one has 2 expert mridanga players and kartals and other things, and they're madly singing and dancing. And we're told these groups, sometimes Mahaprabhu, he appears in all of them. And we just heard recently about the picnic on the banks of the Jamuna with all the cowherd boys. And then the picnic in, Panihati, with Raghunath Das Goswami and Nityananda Prabhu, and again those cowherd boys, they're cowherd boys in Krishna Lila, and the associates of Nityananda Prabhu and Gaur Lila, same group. Same, also picnic on the banks of and so Srila Saraswati Thakur, Vrindavan, saying, there's very interesting Bhagavad-gita shloka, because we're talking about hidden treasure of the Bhagavad-gita. There's a lot of treasure hidden in there. It's not just these 4 slokas. There are many treasures hidden within the pages, slokas of Bhagavad-gita. So a famous verse says, Sarvatak panipadam tak sarvatokshi shiromukam sarvatak srutimal loke sarvam avritya tishtati. So it's saying, everywhere his eyes and ears, his hands and faces, and this way he sees and hears everything. So it seems on its surface, on the face, to be like a Paramatma sort of thing, But our acharyas, what are they extracting from there? Saying, no. So when Krishna's sitting there on the banks of the Remuna, every cowherd boy has the experience that Krishna's looking at him. Like, are you looking at me? That Krishna's making eye contact with them, with every single person simultaneously, to the point that they feel this is a very intimate experience. Krishna's like looking at me and not everybody else. Every single cowherd boy on the bank feel that way. And in Nityananda's palace, then in these kirtans before Jagannath, they all think, Mahaprabhu is in our group. And he's looking at me while we're, they can't believe their good fortune. Right? So, but when he's doing that, and there are devotees of varying levels of, remember, they're all divine. But as Guru Maharaj reminds us, there's gradation everywhere and everything. If we say, quoting Saraswati Thakur and Prapana Jivanamritam, Guru Maharaj, there, they say, Vrindavana hoite shrestha govardhana shoila gandharvika giri dhari jatakrida koila. Superior to the pastimes in Vrindavan are the pastimes in Govardhan. So that's what it says. Shrestha means better, superior. Doesn't mean then we want nothing to know. They're all divine. Prabhupada used to say in the Krishna book about Krishna's pastimes and Vrindavan, Mathura, he'd say, and reverse order, and Dwarka, Mathura, Vrindavan, perfect, absolutely perfect, more perfect pastime, and most perfect. That's the way it is. So we're not dismissing the perfect. We're not perfect, more perfect, most perfect. Vrindavan, Govardhan, Radha Kund, and then Saraswati Thakur says, Tata, Radha Kunda Tata, like the song says, the banks of Radha Kund. And the Chakra Tirtha Mahaprabhu immersed in the, what does he say when the fisherman discovers him? Remember, he's been floating in the water for hours. And we've seen it too. If you ever go very early in the morning in Puri, you'll see on the boatmen coming back, and they have these boats, they tie together. Because when they get back, they untie them, and they're in 2 pieces, and they dry them out. It's very unusual. For me, not for them. But they go out in the dark. Apparently fishing is better in the dark. This man, he's there, and and he feels, I've got a really big fish. He's pulling his net in, and it's Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And this man's saying, he's scared. He's saying, oh my God. And because he touched him, and then now his body is infused with Krishna Nam, and he's thinking, it's a ghost, and now I'm ghostly haunted. What to do? He starts chanting the Shringa mantra, and the Nam becomes more powerful. He's not being saved by, and then he thinks he's losing his mind, pulls him onto the shore. So Mahaprabhu's there, been floating and thinking he's in the Jamuna, because he is in the upper worlds. That's the thing. He doesn't see what is here. When it says Bandeki, Hoi, Vrindavan. So he's mistaking any van, any forest for Vrindavan, any mountain for Govardhan. That's the way. We are mistaking the infinite for finite. That is our precarious situation. We see the deity, we think finite. We see this, we think finite. When one of Saraswati Thakur's disciples, he said, "Where's Surendra Brahma?" And they go, "Oh, he went to take Jagannath darshan." They're in Puri also. Saraswati, "Oh, he went for eye exercise." Meaning, what does that mean? When you see the deity, so you look at the lotus feet, then go up like this and like that. And so it means your eyeballs start down here, and then your eye goes up, and then your eye goes to the left, eye goes to the right. That shows the humor of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They say, "Oh, this devotee went for the darshan of Jagannath." And what did he say? "Oh, he went for eye exercise." Like, that's what he'll get from that. Right? So, in other words, Jagannath is there. What is your capacity to appreciate? Comes back to the vision of the Vaishnava. The Guru Maharaj is saying, you'll get more from the Vaishnava than from the deity. You'll get more from the Shastra than from the deity. You'll get more from the Vaishnava than from the Shastra, because they will interpret the Shastra and deliver it to you in a very living and meaningful way. So when the devotees would go to Puri, you should go for Jagannath darshan. What did all the devotees do? They go to see Mahaprabhu first. And he'd kind of go like, "All right, I get it," but remember, he's as devotee, so he's conflicted a little bit, but like, right, you people are hopeless, in the best possible way. They come to see him first, then they go for Jagannath darshan. But, so this gradation of devotees are there. The three circles, they form. And you can hear which ones are next to Mahaprabhu. The big one, Kashi, what's his name? Mishra. There's Kashi Mishra, but there's another devotee. Who's the big, tall, like Kashishwara Pandit, yeah. So to try and, keep people away, so there's an inner circle, another circle around that circle, and another circle. There's a painting, I think it's a famous painting, where someone did sort of a nice drawing of that. And that's where there's Mahaprabhu. The foam that comes out in his divine ecstasy, like nectarine foam, comes from the mouth of Mahaprabhu. And sometimes it's being cast off in direction. And this one devotee named Subhananda, he gets the foam, he's taking that, and they're saying, "Oh, no one is as fortunate as Subhananda." I had a god brother named Subhananda. We used to talk about that. Many things, his tears are shooting out of his eyes, and like Ganga, like streams. So they're dousing other people. Imagine if the pramic tears, Mahabhav tears of Mahaprabhu fall upon you, and what the outcome. But we could say, if you're in that range, you already have a fair amount of outcome. But anyway, so he's there, and we know Nityananda Prabhu, his dancing is incomparably sweet, inconceivable, and he's dancing Advaita, Srivas Thakur, they're singing, all of this beautiful Mukunda Dutt, they're singing these beautiful kirtan. Imagine, we've heard some mridanga players. I once went to the premier mridanga player, and he's from Nabadwip, was working in Bollywood at the time. His name was Sudarshan Das Adhikari. And I'd heard Prabhupada say some peculiar things about what the top mridanga players can do with the mridanga, and you just kind of like, Jai Prabhupada, like he'll say something and you just believe it, that it's possible somewhere, maybe not in this world or something, But I saw something he said that I heard with my own ears. So we wanted to buy some of these certain types of mridangas from. So he came. We're in Juhu Beach in Bombay, and he comes, and he can see we're really ripe for. Like, we're just amazed, And remember, he's the best, put it this way, he's the best mridanga player in India. That's why he's in Bombay. You understand? You should understand that, right? For the movies. So they've got the best mridanga, and where's he from? Nabadwip. And so we can understand. Anyway, he's there. So he's like, and we're like astonished. And then at one point when he sees, he's like, has us, he starts going, he's playing something, and we look at each other. We're hearing in our minds, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. And when he sees that has landed in us, then he goes, Hare Krishna, Hare. Then the mridanga starts chanting Krishna Nam. And he's like, so if he's that good, what are those who are playing the mridanga and the two mridanga players in each group? Inconceivable. And they're either, in Vrindavan, Braja Gopis, this is it, And lost in their divine madness, still, they're hearing Mahaprabhu sing, Go Brahmana Devaya, Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha, Jagaditaya Krishnaya, Govindaya Namo Namo, saying all these beautiful prayers to Krishna, Jayati Janani Vaso, Devaki, Janmavadu, some from the Bhagavatam, from here, there, from many different places. And those are slokas that everyone would know, right? But sometimes he's saying things that not everyone knows. But remember, these are the ultimate, jnana shunya, no question or doubt ever enters their mind in any way. Otherwise, they couldn't be there. Right? Still, he's saying some peculiar things, like Yat Kumara Hara, this sloka, which Guru Maharaj says is a sloka that's used to teach to teach poetry. And Guru Maharaj's word, he said, but what is this guy? He said, a rather nasty one. Right? Because it's a girl talking about losing her virginity. That's this sloka that teaches you alankar, ornamentation, how to, it has many things in there. Right? And why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is singing this sloka in front of Jagannath, they don't even think twice about it. Only we do. And he's, Haribol, But that's what he's singing. And the girl is saying like, oh, that boy we met on the banks of the Revati river, and this particular month, the moon was shining down, and that's when we fell in love. It's a love poem, right? And has all these elements. On the banks of the river, the moon was shining, and you and she, the girl is recalling the love of her life and how they first met and all of that. It's so beautiful, actually. And that's what he sings. But it's not known why he's singing that. So when Mahaprabhu pulls this sloka out of the thatched hut roof, and it says, Priya Soyam Krishna, and he says, so what no one else can understand, Rupa Goswami is saying, who is the boy, who is the girl, what time of year it is, The river is actually Jamuna. The girl is Radharani, Sri Radhika. The boy is Krishna. Like, he fills in everything. And that's why Mahaprabhu is showing this Sridhar and he says, no one's supposed to know this. How does he know that? But first of all, what was noteworthy is that Swarup Damodar, Mahaprabhu was saying, like, he doesn't even say, like, it's understood, Swarup Damodar knows. He's just saying, you and I know this. That's a given that Swarup Damodar knows. That's why Guru Maharaj said, Swarupam Bibranam Jagatatulyam. That's Rupa, and Guru Maharaj is saying, Sri Gauranumatam Swarupa Viditam. Swarup Damodar knows everything. Right? That's the position of Chaitanya Charitamrita, is that Swarup Damodar, if whatever you think you know about Mahaprabhu, it's not in consonance with what Swarup Damodar has revealed, just let it go. Saying, if you understand something substantial about Mahaprabhu, you must have heard it from Swarup Damodar. It must come from him. We're talking particularly the inner aspect, like here. So he turns to him and says, like, how can Rupa know this? And Swarup Damodar is saying, you must have revealed it to him. And it's interesting, Mahaprabhu was saying, yes, I did. He's saying, it must be by your mercy. And he said, it's true. And he said, I've found the fit person. And that is Sri Rupa. Then Rupa Goswami comes back from bathing. Mahaprabhu gives a love tap, like, what are you doing writing this? No one's supposed to know. So, this sort of revelation, you can say interpretation. So, you have Srila Guru Maharaj. And I didn't finish it, what I was saying the other day. So, when we'd made the search for Sri Krishna reality, the beautiful. Okay? This is an original concept from Guru Maharaj, and you see what is there, and it's structured in a particular way. That starts with the generic search for Guru, etc., and Krishna, and in the end, Krishna is searching for Krishna as Mahaprabhu. Guru Maharaj is like that. That's the way it concludes. Atma Siddha Savalila Purnasokya Lakshanam. The ultimate Purnasokya, the ultimate reality, as Guru Maharaj said, I say, the ultimate reality must be dancing. What do you say? We're sitting there, he's in the plantation chair in the afternoon, and I didn't know what to say. And Guru Maharaj said, I say the ultimate reality. What do you say? I'm saying, well, I mean, I'm going to agree with that, but I don't know what I'm agreeing with, how to explain. And then Guru Maharaj, seeing that he got me, he was like, ha ha, happy. And then he explained that it means Mahaprabhu, that what he's experiencing is so wonderful. The ecstatic joy cannot be contained. And then what is it? Expressed in ecstatic dance, and thereby distributing the same to others. And elsewhere he said what did he say? About the cause is the effect is the cause is the effect, like that. The effect, the cause is this, and then the effect is the dancing, and then that leads to more cause, and this kind of nitya lila circle. So, search for Sri Krishna reality, the beautiful. Then we thought we should make a book on Guru. Put everything in there that Guru Maharaj is saying about Guru. Right? So that became Sri Guru and His grace. Then after that, it should be Mahaprabhu. Right? But and how? So Guru Maharaj, in explaining the Shikshastakam, those 8 slokas attributed to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is saying they're like volcanic eruptions. Just like we know what the volcano is, like it reaches a certain point and there's this hot lava inside and it can't be contained anymore, and then it explodes, right? And then the lava comes streaming out. So Guru Maharaj is saying it's like that, right? Because people have a stereotype about spiritual things that like people sitting around, they have a smile on their face, like the smiling Buddha kind of thing. He's sitting there like all the time, which is okay. It's not okay, but this is not passive. That's more of a Shanta-like condition. Right? We know even the cows in Vrindavan, they're crying. Right? They're not always smiling. Sometimes they're crying tears of separation. Right? Vrindavan is a very different place. Even Shantarasa there is very different than any other place. So anyway, what would make Buddha get up and dance? Because Nietzsche, the famous atheist, Nietzsche, God is dead. He said, if I were to believe in God, he would have to be a good dancer. So I said, then Guru Maharaj, he's presented a conception of divinity that even Nietzsche, one of the greatest atheists of all time, that he could accept. Atma siddha savalila purna sokya lakshanam. Gaur Nataraj. So Guru Maharaj started this streaming from him, this golden volcano. And he'd always say, golden volcano, divine lava. And then he'd say, is lava love? He'd always go like that. Golden volcano, divine lava. Is lava love? So Mahayogi, we had to send him to the San Jose State University Library, get out the OED, Oxford English Dictionary, like A is a volume like this on onion skin paper, double columns, tiny type. They give you a magnifying glass with the book. B, C, the whole set is like, so we look up love. It's like, love from the, and then you go up and down there. And interestingly, it was not connected to lava, but, in their world, right? When Guru Maharaj says, is lava love? That's a whole other stream to be mined. But it said, when you finally betray it, back, it would say, from the Sanskrit, lobe, which, it can mean like greed, lust, like not the good kind, lobe, So love, lobe. Is lobe love? No, it's not. But so you go, golden volcano, divine lava. And so saying that was what was pouring out of the heart of Mahaprabhu in this way. So. But as we're making the book, he wrote me once, or sent a telegram or something, saying that, for the title, he said, it should not be something that people will ridicule. So I wrote back, I said, we could call it the golden volcano of divine love, because he keeps saying, is lava love, and golden volcano, divine lava. So we can say, golden volcano of divine love. And in the introduction, you can talk about golden volcano, divine lava, where you give the explanation of those things. And he approved that. So later, he said to me, remember, Srila Gurudev considered these 3 books deities. That's how this deity of Mahaprabhu came to us. Because that was scheduled for Hapania, for Guru Maharaj's birthplace. This Mahaprabhu was commissioned by Srila Gurudev. And when we had a mind, we got Guru Maharaj approved Govardhan Shila for us to worship. So we were worshiping the Govardhan Shila. And then can we move on to like Govardhan Shila and Mahaprabhu? So, and some ideas were there about Mahaprabhu and how he should appear. And that's when Guru Maharaj sent me to, he goes, Mahaprabhu Bari. You go there, Vishnu Priya's deity. And then you'll understand. So I go and you see that beautiful deity, Vishnu Priya, you know, of whom we consider this Mahaprabhu an extension of Vishnu Priya's deity. So I come back, and he's on the side, on the altar of Chaitanya Saraswat Mat, the Mool Mat. And that's when I said to Gurudev, I said, because he's showing him to me. Because I was saying, well, Vishnu Priya's deity is like this, and the mudra, the offering mudra. And there's some are like this, some are like how shall we do, you know? And he's showing me, he said, like this, you know. I said, oh, then perhaps Mahaprabhu would like to go to America for preaching. And Gurudev went like, Ore Baba. And I was like, okay. But then he was like, he said, come with me. And we go upstairs, and Guru Maharaj is there. And that's when Gurudev said to Guru Maharaj, he said, Goswami Maharaj has given you 3 deities. Search for Sri Krishna, reality the beautiful, Sri Guru and his grace, golden volcano of divine love. Maharaj, you give 1 deity to Goswami Maharaj. And that's when Guru Maharaj went, you know, he wasn't immediately on board. You know. To America? At some point he mentioned that. But then then Guru Maharaj started saying, it is designed and destined. Kept saying, it is designed and destined. Where he will go, from whom he shall receive service. Like he could see everything. And anyway, so at another time, Guru Maharaj said to me, which one of these books that you, and we made Loving Search for Lost, and he said, which one do you like the most? You know, and it was like, I didn't want to get this wrong. You know? So I was like, and I couldn't even answer the question. And Guru Maharaj could see I'm just dumbstruck. And that's when he said, and I'm saying, he was saying like very bashful, like a teenage girl, like that, like revealing who her crush was. And he said, golden volcano. And I felt like, of course, Mahaprabhu, Radha, like, you know. But when I presented the golden volcano, I mentioned this the other night, and I realized I didn't really finish it. So I came and presented the book to him. And that's when Siddhanta Maharaj wrote this letter that the Gangbhira is, the Seva is in transition, and there's some possibility. So Guru Maharaj sent me and his secretary there. And that if you show that, you have that picture, you see where they have the picture of Mahaprabhu. Like, we could just say this. In general, these people are not very welcoming, like of the foreign here and there, right? Because that's the room in there. You know, it's not like a Vrindavan thing where, you know, they're a little, sometimes they almost appear to like be annoyed that we're there, you know, or that they're tolerating somehow, or, you know. But when we came to this golden volcano book and showed it to them, they changed completely they could perceive there were spirituals. I don't know what happened. And they took, it's the kind of like if they receive something from us, they have to go take a bath, and chant a bunch of mantras to purify themselves. But this book, they took it into, and there's an asan in there that Mahaprabhu sat on and everything. Hare Krishna. And they put it where Mahaprabhu sits. So when I look in there, and you see, there's the golden volcano. It's Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is the golden volcano of divine, everything like that. Like it was some mystical moment. And I reflected back to right before sending us there. So Guru Maharaj said to me, he said, if you can get that seva, then I'll go there for the inauguration. And you just heard from Madhusudan Maharaj how, like at the time, Padmini, and Guru Maharaj could see the look on my face, like shock. And he read it perfectly because I'm thinking like, in your condition, you would not survive that journey. But I didn't say it. He could just see that that's what I'm thinking. And he's looking at me, and he said, I will go there. Of course, that's giving me, and we're going to really try and get the place. Didn't turn out to be possible, and then he said, seeing that look on my face, he said, and if I die on the way, he said, at least I will have died going in the right direction. And that's the point that I mean to make. That's what we hope for in Krishna. We will never think that we're actual devotees. We may think that we're surrounded by devotees, but not that we ourselves are devotees. Right? But we're thinking, well, by the grace of these devotees, maybe they will carry us in the right direction. That we're hoping for. And we saw also at the Ratha-yatra festival that one of our devotees from Venezuela, you have these groups, like we have our group, and there's literally 1 million people there. It's not an exaggeration. When they say there's 1 million people there, there's at least 1 million people there. Because when Gurudev, look, you see that? There Gurudev, we're listening on the radio, and he says, another devotee said, like, Maharaj, can I go? And he goes, yes. Oh, yes, you can go. And I'm sitting there, and I'm smiling to myself, and I'm thinking, like, I've been in connection with Krishna consciousness at that time for like 40 years or so. And I've never been, and I can hear it off in the distance, and I'm not going. And I just thought, but I'm happy. I'm here with him. We're listening on the radio, quoting the shlokas, So, but I just kind of, But then Gurudev turned, he goes, Maharaj, you've been. And I said, no, I've never been. And he goes, oh, then you can go, And he said, but like 15 minutes and then come back. And so when I went there, and I'm coming, and I go to the Shingadwar, right, the Lion Gate, the Eastern Gate, and there's no one there. There's nothing there. No, it's been going on for something. They've done the Pandu Vijay. It's like around 5 o'clock in the afternoon or something. And I'm utterly bewildered by what in total bewilderment. And I'm saying to myself, where is everybody? And I see coming this way, like Hari Charan, Prabhu, Krishna Charan, they're like, and because they've been for some time, and they're coming back, and they're going to our, and I think Hari Charan, they're going like, no, Maharaj, like that. But then I'm going like, where is everybody? I'm about to discover where everybody is. So I go around the corner and I go, oh, now I'm seeing some more people. And then if you show that shot again of the crowd, I'm saying like, oh, wow, there's thousands of people here. Then I go further and I go, well, there's like 20, 30,000 people here. And I'm saying, there's like 50,000. And I'm going, there's like and then I realize, there's 1 million people here. Right? This is the, what do you say? Yata Rudastaradi Padavi Nila Chalapate. The main road. It's funny, like, that's the generic name, but even in the Grand Road, even in the poetry of Rupa Goswami, it's called, in Sanskrit, similar, this road. It's very important. But anyway, so I go there, and then I see there's the chariot, and I wonder where, Jagannath is, and I see one chariot, and because I'm coming upon this chariot, and then I like look around the sun, and I see, and there is Jagannath, and it appears as that he's going like this, like, and you're like, oh my God. And then they're like, come on. They let you like touch the rope or something, give dandavats, or And the chariot, it makes this like om sound, this huge om, and then it goes forward, and then it stops by the will of Jagannath. And you have the guys up there who are like whipping the horses. They're going like this, but they're like, the whole thing is really a divine fantasy. But so I'm seeing that, and oh, there they are. And then they go, and then the chariot goes a little bit, and the pandas with their big bellies, and they're going like down, boom, boom, down, dum, dum, down, down, they go down, 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 and the chariot goes. Then it stops. And Jagannath is there, and we're just saying, he would see Mahaprabhu dancing, and we're told Jagannath would be stunned to see the dancing of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or see him turn into Srimati Radharani, as Nityananda saw from a distance. So these groups, so you see that there, if you have like a group, say it's the Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Kirtan, and then there's another group, there's just so many of these groups, and everything's like this. So one of our devotees, he got encircled in another group, not our mat. And that group, like wherever they went, he went, he couldn't control. They just lifted him up, and he went wherever they went. And then I thought, like, that is association. See, if you surround yourself with good association, you'll be carried to where those devotees are going. That's our, sadhu sangha satovare, the superior association. We want to get connected to them through service, and we'll be carried. That's why Gurudev would sit there and shake his head and say, he said, I know Guru Maharaj's zone. I know where you're going. That's why I can say all these. You don't know that yet, but I do. That's why I'm so happy, and I can see where you're going. I know where it will be. We told the Sankirtan of Mahaprabhu is the Rasa Leela and distribution mode. We can't say any more. But so Gurudev, he's seeing that's why he's tolerating everything also. So, but still, that principle of association, that you're carried by superior association in the right direction. Hare Krishna. Like Srila Guru Maharaj telling that. Hare Krishna. So Maharaj, I think we'll conclude this evening here.
Wonderful, yes.
Yes.
Being transported Puri.
Hare Krishna. Hari Hare Namo Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Hari Hare Namo Krishna Yadavaya Namaha. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha. Gopal Govinda Ram Jima Madhusudan. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohan. Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra. Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhakta Raguna. Sri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Dasa Raguna. Hey Jai Go Jai Gori Charana Bandhan. Jaha Hoite Vignanas Abhisha Puran. Hey Jai Go Jai Jar Mui Tarodan. Kansavada Padarenu Mora Panchagras. Chandera Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanevas. Janame Janame More Abilas. Hey Jai Go Jai Jabe Braje Koilovas. Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Kori Lokakan. Anande Bolo Hari Braja Vrindavan. Sri Guru Vaishnava Pade Madhyayaman. Sri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyan. Hari Nam Sankirtan Kohe Narottamadan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaur Hari Bo. Jai Gaur Hari Bo, Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahanta Parivrajaka Charja Sateras of the Sri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Saparikar Sri Sri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Sundar Jiu Ki Jai. Sri Giriraj Govardhan Ki Jai. Sri Rupa Anuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Sri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Sri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Sat Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Sarup Ramananda Ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasati Gau Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gop Govina Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Nabadwip Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Swami Ki Jai. Jagannath Subhadra Balabhadra Ki Jai. Sri Jagannath Ratha-yatra Ki Jai. Ganga Devi Jamuna Devi Bhakti Devi Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Vishvavarenya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mata Acharya Brinda Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Bhimala Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Sannyasi Brinda Ki Jai. Sri Bhakti Lalita Devi Dasi Ki Jai. Sandeep Krishna Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Maheshwari Didi Ki Jai. Sri Paramananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakti Brinda Ki Jai. Nitai Go Premanande. Jai, so Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Can you get that? Hare Krishna. Jai Rupa Vilas Prabhu in the Philippines Ki Jai. Jai Kum Kum Didi Dandavat. Kalendi Priya Didi Dandavat. Chaitanya Nitai and Vrindavan Dandavat. Sri Hari Prabhu in Brazil Dandavat. Kalendi Priya and Chiang Mai Dandavat. Priyanana Didi and Lakta and Raja Dandavat. Brinda Devi Nasi in Nizhny Novgorod and Russia Dandavat. Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dandavat. And there's Bhakti Seva and Hrishikesh Maharaj and the crew there in Abhazia Dandavat. Hare Krishna. Bhagavan Prabhu Dandavat. Parama Bhakti Didi in Brazil Dandavat. What is this? Gokula Taruni Didi Dandavat. Hare Purushottam Prabhu Dandavat. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. Chaitanya Moyi and Dhananjaya Prabhu and Rome. Dandavat. Hare Krishna. Rasananda Prabhu in Sochi in Russia, Dandavat. Ananda Lila Didi in Brazil, Dandavat. Sushmita Didi Devi, Dandavat. She's in China, Dandavat. Anindita, Dandavat. Tapananandini Didi in Mexico, Dandavat. Anandamoyi Didi, she's in China, Dandavat. Hare Krishna. Lakshmi Priya in Kiev, Dandavat. Ira Didi and Russia, Dandavat. Jai Srila Bhakti Ashray Dandi Maharaj, Dandavat. Yuteshwari Didi and Zaporizhia in Ukraine, Dandavat. Shamala Devidasi, Dandavat. Praneshwari Didi doing the Spanish translation, Dandavat. And there's Nalina Nayana and the young Ram Sundar Prabhu in China, Dandavat. Seva Rupa Didi in South Africa, Dandavat. Vrindavaneshwari Didi, Dandavat. Ramarutan Prabhu in Milano, Dandavat. Dharani Sundari Didi, Dandavat. Abhiram Prabhu, Dandavat. Sushmita, again, Dandavat. Dandavat. Indumukhi and husband, Dandavat. And Mitra Vinda, they're in Shenzhen, Dandavat. Satyabhama Didi in Mexico, Dandavat. And Sevan Nishta Devi Dandavat. Then Madhavilata Didi, Dandavat. Ajita Krishna Prabhu in Kaselny in Moscow, Dandavat. Divya Shakti Didi, Dandavat. Who else? Where? Prafula Krishna Prabhu from Brazil, Dandavat. Rasananda Prabhu in Ukraine, Dandavat. Gauranataraj Prabhu, Sulakshana Didi, she's doing a Chinese translation. Vila Govinda Bhaktavrinda, Dandavat. There's Divya Shakti Didi, Nityananda, that's doing the Russian translation. Amiya Sindhu Prabhu, perhaps in Mayapur. Dhananjay from Russia. Chandrakanti Didi in China. Tungarasa Didi. Jai Sripad Bhakti Vigrahanyasi Maharaj from Salt Lake, Dandavat. Narayani Devi, Dandavat. Kamala Didi, Dandavat. Anandita, Dandavat. Janavi, maybe in China. That Janavi, Dandavat. Ananta Shesh Prabhu in Spain. Hare Krishna. Larry Williams in Govinda Land. All right, Dandavat. I think is that everyone? Yes? All right, Bancha Kalpatribhyascha Kripa Sindhuvevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Dandavat. You see Puri?
That's his mom.
Oh. All right. There's Purushottam and Purushottam mom. All right, that's Hare Krishna. All right, wonderful, wonderful. Your son is first class. But you already know that.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
My honor and privilege to serve you in this capacity. I don't know.